May I come in, sir?
Yes, come in.
Good afternoon, sir. Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Please be seated.
Thank you, sir.
Are you fully vaccinated?
Yes, sir.
No symptoms of COVID?
No, sir.
You may remove your mask.
Okay, sir.
Please introduce yourself to the board, highlighting your educational qualification and job experience, if any.
Sir, I am Naman Goyal. I was born and brought up in Jaipur. I did my BTech in Chemical Engineering from IIT Bombay. Sir, currently I am residing in Mumbai with my family. I don't have any work experience. And sir, I enjoy reading about the civil aviation industry and traveling, sir.
Naman, you are a high achiever, I feel. 9.1 CGPA you have obtained.
Thank you, sir.
So, what is the role of a high achiever like you in the civil services?
Sir, during my college, I have tried to be as hardworking as possible and focus on my studies. Sir, this dedication and focus is very crucial in the civil services because a commitment to the civil services by a civil servant is utmost required. And sir, apart from being academically good, I also think I am good in extracurricular activities, leadership and public speaking. So sir, these qualities might also be useful in the civil services, sir.
What are the weaknesses of bureaucracy?
Sir, I think currently some of the weaknesses in the bureaucracy are number one, work culture. The work culture in the bureaucracy is not professional enough and there are delays, red tapeism in the bureaucracy. Sir, number two, I also believe there is lack of dedication among the civil servants. So number three would be a lack of integrity and discompassionate behavior by the civil services, sir.
Still you are so passionate to join the service which suffers from so many ills and evils.
Sir, I believe there are some issues, but there are more opportunities to improve in the civil services. And if I get a chance to become a civil servant, then I think I will work to be best of myself and to get these things improved. Sir, these are opportunities as far as civil services.
You have been taking keen interest in the civil aviation industry.
Yes, sir.
So tell us what is happening in the civil Indian aviation industry in our country presently.
Sir, recently there have been a few developments. Firstly is the Air India disinvestment. The government of India has divested its share of Air India to the Tata Group. Sir, apart from this, we have COVID-related issues in the civil aviation industry. The aviation industry has suffered a lot in the last 2 years and is now recoping. Sir, number three would be emergence of newer airlines such as Akasa Airlines. And there is also a possibility of Jet Airways being revived, sir.
Go ahead.
Sir, fourthly, I would consider Udan scheme and the development of airports in India has been tremendous in the last few years. We have increased the number of airports from 60 to 140 in the last 5 to 6 years. And Udan scheme has also been very successful. So, sir, these are some of the key.
So far as managing the airports are concerned, I think it has some of the airports are getting developed on the PPP lines,
yes.
PPP models. Could you name a few such airports where it's implemented in a PPP model, and what model is this per se?
Sir, recently the government and the Airport Authority of India has divested its share in some of the airports such as Guwahati, Thiruvananthapuram, Lucknow, Jaipur to private companies, and from the money that they have been getting through a lease or disinvestment, they will be using in development of greenfield or brownfield airports, sir.
Okay, what is the difference between privatization and divestment? You said that Government of India has divested.
Yes, sir.
In Air India. I say it's a sell-off. It's not divestment, it's pure privatization.
Yes.
Is there any dispute between your argument and my argument?
Sir, I believe divestment of share can be from a very low amount, let's say 5% to even 100%. So when we divest the majority stake in any company, then it is privatization.
Good. Suppose now, do you think it's a good idea to divest Air India and privatize it 100%? Then the government is left with no agency to really deal with in cases of international crisis. You know the history of Air India. Whenever crisis has taken place, Air India, services of Air India have been utilized to its fullest. Now, in future, if we are faced with a similar situation, how the government is going to deal with the situation?
Sir, it is true that Air India has been crucial in eviction in various war-torn regions and in the recent COVID-19 pandemic also. Sir, we have seen in Yemen, in Nepal during the earthquake, Afghanistan, COVID-19, Ukraine. But sir, the recent Ukraine crisis has proved that even the private airlines such as Indigo, SpiceJet, and the Indian Air Force also has large capability to bring back Indian citizens. And evacuation is also possible if we tie our hands, if the government work with the private sector, sir. So we do not need to rely solely on Air India, but the airlines and the carriers which we have, they are sufficient for, sir, any eviction or evacuation of citizens.
Okay, thank you very much, Naman.
Yes.
Naman, I can see that you graduated from IIT Bombay.
Yes, sir.
But Bombay was changed to Mumbai long ago. Why IIT is still IIT Bombay?
Sir, there are a few reasons why the name of IIT Bombay might not have changed. Number one, sir, IIT Bombay got its establishment under IIT Act of 1961 and it was mentioned there. So if we want to change the name of Bombay to Mumbai, then we have to amend the act. So number two would be there is a reputation and a brand associated with the name IIT Bombay. And if we change it to IIT Mumbai, it might have certain issues with respect to that. And sir, IIT Bombay is in the name of the IIT itself. The address is IIT Bombay, Powai, Mumbai. So, sir, Bombay is in the name and not in the address.
So, you were a member of academic council in the university you mentioned.
Yes.
Tell me the structure of the governance within the IITs, especially the IIT Bombay. Just give it from top to bottom, as provided in the Act.
Sir, I'm not completely aware about the...
You were a member of the academic council.
Sir,
so there was an academic council, obviously.
Yes.
What were other councils?
Sir, I was member of the student academic council. So I was not part of the governing body per se. But the other student-led councils were sports council, hostel council, cultural council. So we were basically furthering the interest of the students towards the dean, the academic governing body as well, sir.
Why is it so that the many universities have contributed a lot when it comes to the student politics and the activism, but IITs always lag behind? They're never seen when the issues of national importance are cropping up in different campuses. It appears that the engineers or people like students in the IITs are cut off from the political realities of the nation. Is it true?
Sir, in this case, I would believe that it is not completely true that the students of IIT are not participating in or not aware about the current happenings, especially in the political sphere. During the Citizenship Amendment Act, there was large-scale participation in rallies by the IIT students in our campus. And sir, if we compare with other colleges, I believe there is much more non-politicization of the campus. And the student communities, they don't prefer to participate in politics. Rather, they prefer to participate in research, academics, sports, and cultural activities.
Are these mutually exclusive?
No, sir, they are not completely mutually exclusive. But maybe the general interest of students is not lying in the politics of the country, sir.
Anyways, let's discuss economy for a while. If you look at our neighborhood, the Sri Lanka is defaulting in a sovereign default situation.
Yes.
And it is primarily because of the forex thing. But if you look at India, not that we are very good, but we are comfortable when it comes to forex situation. I could never understand now. We are always in trade deficit. Then how come our forex reserves are satisfactory? We are importing more than exporting. So we should be in a problem when it comes to forex. Where are we getting forex from?
Sir, we are trade deficit in the merchandise export and import. But if we see the service sector, we have a surplus. Even in 2020, the COVID-19 year, we for the first time in several years, we got a current account surplus. Sir, apart from that, the major contribution comes from the remittances. Around $80 billion of total remittances we get from overseas citizens and diaspora of India. Sir, the grants, investments, FPI, FDI.
Last time we had any state surviving on the money orders and remittances was Bihar. And we know what happened with Bihar.
Yes.
Are we as a nation going the Bihar way? You got my question? A state surviving only on remittances and money order will ultimately is destined to be in a difficult economic situation.
Sir, I have a slightly different viewpoint. India as a country is not relying on diaspora and remittances from abroad. remittances is one of the major foreign exchange inflow, but there are other.
Where we are trade deficit.
Sir, with respect to trade, we are deficit, but with respect to FDI, FIIs, foreign portfolio investments, grants, even salaries to Indians who are earning for the MNCs, services exports, we are trade surplus there, sir.
Anyway, tell me, you're coming from Maharashtra. Why Maharashtra Legislative Assembly is without a speaker for that long? Isn't it violation of constitution?
Sir, it is true that the Speaker of the Maharashtra State Legislative Assembly has not been appointed for a very long time. And the High Court and the Supreme Court have also raised this issue. I think, sir, this issue is among the ruling class and the opposition class of the Assembly. And, sir, they need to sort out and appoint and elect the Speaker as soon as possible.
Governor has no role in it?
Sir, Governor also has a role. Sir, I could recall there has been tussle between the current, the government and the Governor with this respect as well, sir. But I can't recall the exact details.
Anyways, thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Naman,
Yes, sir.
your optional is geography.
Yes, sir.
Let's talk about the challenges of urbanization. Can you tell me some challenges before urbanization or better urbanization?
Sir, I would say there are a number of challenges. Firstly, very high rate of in-migration and population growth in urban areas is there. According to the 2011 census, we had 31% urbanized population, while this would go to across 50% to 55% by 2050. So there is high rate of urbanization, while the investment in infrastructure growth is limited to accommodate all the increase in growth. Secondly, I would say there is proliferation of slums in a lot of cities. So Mumbai has 40% population living in slums. And such a large population living in slums has resulted in poor socioeconomic and political conditions of these people. So thirdly, I would say there is lack of sustainable development in the cities. For example, Mumbai sees annual flooding, several other cities also see.
Okay.
Mumbai is also vulnerable to climate change induced sea level rise, where it might get submerged by 2050.
Good, I got it. Now come to the specific challenges. How can we improve the pattern of settlements for better water supply, for better sewage management in any metropolitan city like Mumbai or Delhi?
Sir, may I take a moment to think?
Yeah, please. You can use some theories of urbanization if you think of.
Sir, there are different morphological structure of urbanization. There is a nuclei model, there is sectoral model, there is suburbanization, peri-urbanization. So in the current case, if we want to improve the water availability and sewage treatment of cities, we need to make sure that the city is not congested in the single nuclei at the center, on the CB, the central business district, while it should be spread out in different nuclei in the suburban areas as well. And we need to have proper connectivity and drainage facilities in those areas, so that there is not congestion in the central area where the water availability might be reduced. And sir, this would also make sure that the water bodies, which are rivers, lakes, ponds, are rejuvenated, sir, when the congestion is reduced and the population is diversified.
Practice of beggary usually happens at the red light in a metropolitan city. Do you have any idea to rehabilitate beggars into another civilized profession?
Sir, last year I read a report in newspaper in which the Jaipur district collector has made some efforts to rehabilitate the beggars. I saw that some of especially the children beggar, they were rehabilitated to schools, Anganwadi centers, etc. While the youth and the old age people, they were either skilled, they were trained in different employment opportunities, and they could then find out successful job opportunities for them to survive, sir.
Okay. What we can learn from Harappan civilization for smart cities or for better smart cities?
Sir, Harappan civilization was one of the best ever planned city of that time. There were 90-degree cross streets which we can use in planning of cities, such as some of the cities like Chandigarh.
Can you compare any planned city like Chandigarh or Jaipur with the Harappan civilization?
Sir, I can compare the walled city of Jaipur as well as Chandigarh to the Harappan urbanization process. We had 90-degree cross streets. We also had covered drainage systems in which every house had a drainage system. It was The drain was coming out into the common drain, and there was no water accumulation on the streets.
Okay.
So apart from this, there was also a use of burnt bricks of that time, which I saw in the walled city of Jaipur, because it was constructed in 1700s. So at that moment, the burnt bricks were used, and the 2 to 3 floor structure and the common veranda in the between was also a common characteristics of both the Jaipur and erstwhile industrialized cities.
Naman, smart city need smart policing also.
Yes, sir.
Do you have any idea regarding smart policing?
Sir, smart policing would include use of modern day technology such as artificial intelligence, facial recognition, use of drones, CCTV cameras, and big data, so that we can have common repository of all the criminals, and at the same time we can use computer based software mechanisms to identify the crime scene, the criminals, and better investigation, sir. Sir, coupled with use of CCTNS, NatGrid by the Ministry of Home Affairs, sir, there is a need of use of technology in policing as well.
Okay, can you elaborate the role and function of NatGrid, National Grid, National Intelligence Grid?
Sir, NatGrid is a common database maintained by the Ministry of Home Affairs, and it has database of past crimes and criminal history of people, so that there can be better coordination between different state policing agencies, investigation agencies, and even up to the level of CID as well, sir.
Okay, great.
Naman, so you've been a student of geography,
yes,
all right, and you love traveling also.
Yes, sir.
So tell us something about why Rajasthan usually used to have forts. I mean, why you find in Rajasthan particularly the forts were constructed, especially in medieval time?
Sir, I see the number of forts, large number of forts in Rajasthan were because of large number of princely states in which Rajasthan was divided. So every princely state was supposed to protect its own sovereignty and integrity of its own territory. And for the protection, the forts were constructed on the hilltop so that they can have better security, safety, and maintenance of army as well, sir.
The idea is the same kind of status was also there in other states, but why only in Rajasthan you find so many forts?
Sir, in other states also there are a number of forts. For example, I know in Maharashtra there is Sindhudurg Fort, Kolaba Fort, etc. So forts were also constructed in other states, but the size of the forts were so large in Rajasthan, so that they got the fame that other states or other forts might not have got. But the idea was similar.
Now, apart from the princely states that were there in Rajasthan, what all other factors were responsible in the construction of forts?
Sir, I can think that the availability of raw material, the stones was also there.
Good.
The forts were constructed on mountains, which the Aravalli range and the different ranges was also used for construction of forts. And there was one more reason with respect to security of women and the elite class, the autocratic class from the general public. So the forts were constructed on a citadel on a mountain,
right,
so as to separate ruling class from the ordinary citizens.
Yes, that's good. That's a good observation. Now tell us something about, since you have stayed in Jaipur, you are staying in Mumbai.
Yes.
So what are the cultural similarities between these two cities?
Sir, with respect to cultural similarities, although they are very different cities, but if I compare the language spoken in these two, even though Marathi is the dominant language in Mumbai, but since a large number of immigrants are there, so Hindi has become another major language, and Jaipur also has completely Hindi and Rajasthani as a dominant mother tongue of many people. Sir, in terms of religion, Hindus comprise 80% in Mumbai, and similarly 85 to 90% in Jaipur as well. Sir, the difference in religion would be in terms of Buddhist. Mumbai has around 5% Buddhist population, while this is not so the case in Jaipur. So the other cultural similarities I can think of is in cuisine. There is some similarity in use of spices, in making, sir, some things like modak, vada, which are both, sir, cuisine of Mumbai and Jaipur.
Fine. Tell us that how geography has shaped history of India.
Sir, if we talk about the physiography of India, the Himalayas in the north and the seas in the south have restricted the movement of people from and around India for a very long time. There have been invasions from different passes in the Himalayas from the northwest especially, and this invasion has led to many dynasties starting from Delhi Sultanate, Mughal Empire, and so on. Sir, this is one reason why geography has shaped India as a country now. Sir, apart from this, I also see differences in language and religion, race, caste, etc. in different parts of the country. It's because of many rivers which transcend the country, mountain ranges.
So I give you some examples over here to add what you are saying. In fact, there happens to be two passes,
Yes.
Kyber and the Gomal Pass.
Yes.
Most of the invasions that took place in India, they all took place from which pass?
Sir, the Kyber.
Kyber Pass. So why is it so? Why Kyber Pass was opted by the invaders to invade India?
Sir, some of the reasons why Kyber Pass was chosen could be that since the invaders came from Central Asia, parts of Central Asia, Turkey, etc., the nearest pass to them for entry in India was Kyber Pass. Sir, number two would be proximity to the Delhi region, because for a large point of time, Delhi was a capital during Delhi Sultanate as well. So to have wars, I think Kyber Pass could be a nearest pass to enter, sir.
Alexander invaded India through which pass?
Sorry, sir, I am not aware about that.
Mahmud of Ghajani invaded India through which pass?
Sir, probably Kyber Pass.
Gomal Pass.
Okay, sir.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Naman,
Yes, ma'am.
you have stayed in Mumbai and you belong to Rajasthan. Both of the places have faced water crisis.
Yes, ma'am.
Can you tell me the reason for both the regions, the respective water crisis and the differences?
Ma'am, if we talk about Rajasthan, the average rainfall during monsoon season is very low. It is around 500 mm to 600 mm. Especially the western parts, they just receive less than 250 mm of rainfall. So that is one reason for water scarcity in Rajasthan. Ma'am, in Maharashtra, even though the Konkan region, especially the Western Ghats and the Konkan region, it receives a very large amount of rainfall, but Marathwada and Vidarbha, these regions again receive 500 to 800 mm of rainfall, which is lower than the requirement. Apart from this, the number of rivers in Rajasthan is also limited. There is only major Chambal River, and which passes through the southwest Rajasthan, and the other rivers such as Mahi, Banas, they also have a very limited extent. While the western parts of Rajasthan is arid, and there is almost no major river except Luni, which can solve the issue of water crisis. Apart from this, in Maharashtra, one specific problem is due to the agriculture: sugarcane, cotton, soya bean. These are.
Does any part of northeast monsoon strike Rajasthan?
Ma'am, directly northeast monsoon does not strike Rajasthan, but the rainfall is due to western disturbances in the.
When we talk about the landforms due to the waves, can you actually distinguish if a particular land has been created because of the receding sea or the surge in sea level? Can you give me the geographical feature which would distinguish this problem?
Ma'am, there is a mechanism to understand if the particular area is formed due to receding sea or advancing sea. In receding sea, the fossils are of the marine animals are left. Apart from this, geomorphological evidences such as steps are also there. It is present in Sundarbans in West Bengal, where the receding sea led to formation of steps or canyons in the coastal areas. For advancing sea, we can see Mumbai is one example, where under the sea there has been evidences of fossils of wood trees which are as old as 2000-3000 years ago, which are now submerged, and presence of different islands and undulating topography is also an example why.
When we talk about India's Act East policy, it has been preceded by Look East policy.
Yes.
What were the major points of differences between the two approaches, and what is Act Far East?
Ma'am, I'm not completely aware about the differences between Look East and Act East policy, but as far as Act East policy goes, the focus is shifting towards the east of India, and we need to make sure that we have geostrategic and diplomatic ties with countries in the Southeast Asia, especially the ASEAN countries. And we need to make sure that we have a good level of trade, manufacturing, people-to-people ties.
Is there any difference with respect to region when we talk of Look East and Act East?
Ma'am, I'm not completely aware, but Look East also includes countries like Japan, South Korea, ASEAN.
But there is a point of difference, right?
Ma'am, I'm not.
There might be overlapping areas, for sure there are. Anyway, there have been certain data which have not been released by the government Can you tell me which are the pending data which have to be released?
One of the pending data was the household consumption survey, which was conducted in 2017, and its report has not been released till now.
And what are the reasons given by the government for this delay? And do you think is it by design, or is it because of the reasons given by the government?
Ma'am, the reasons given by the government was that the design of the survey was not proper, and there were inconsistencies in the data received under the survey. So I believe this might be the real reason why there can be differences in there can be an issue in the collection of.
When after what duration is this data supposed to be released? What should be the time interval between the two consecutive data?
It is around 5 to 6 years. The last one was in 2011-12.
And now it is 2022.
Yes,
so
ma'am.
even if the last data was because of the inconsistencies, there has been a considerable delay.
Yes, ma'am.
So the reason given is not actually valid enough for this amount of delay. Do you see that?
Ma'am, for the delay between 2017 and 22, COVID-19 is one of the major reasons. But ma'am, I believe that the government's assertion of inconsistency in data could be the real reason.
And what are the impacts because of non-releasing of this data?
Ma'am, this data is used in calculation of GDP, changing the basket for the consumer price index, and also calculation of the poverty figures as well.
And who's at the receiving end if this data is not released, and accordingly if the policies have not been calibrated?
Ma'am, the citizens of India would be at the receiving end because the policies might not factor in the differences in
all the citizens of India,
especially the poor, because currently if we see inflation rate is very high, and if we don't know the consumer expenditure and the household consumption, then we won't be able to ensure that how is the inflation impacting the poor people, especially, ma'am.
Okay, thank you, Naman.
Thank you.
Naman,
Yes.
World Inequality Report 2022. Have you gone through it?
Sorry, sir.
This report says that India is a poor but unequal country.
Yes.
1% of the population of the country is earning about 22% of the national income.
Yes.
And bottom 50% earns only 13%. Do you agree with the findings of the report?
Sir, I would agree with the findings of the report. Even the economic survey of 2021 has also focused on this. The Gini coefficient to measure the inequality is high in India. The economic survey and also other reports like Oxfam has also reported that around 10% of the people, they have 50% of the wealth of the country, while the bottom 50% they just own 4% of the wealth. So it is true that economic inequality is high in the country. But sir, according to the DPSP principles as well, in which under Article 38-39 it is mentioned, the government should take steps to remove inequality, especially economic inequality, and ensure equal wages, livelihood opportunities. So measures are being taken to reduce inequality, sir.
One last question. Is it possible for an individual to succeed without hard work?
Sir, I don't think it is possible for an individual to succeed without hard work. Hard work is key for any person, because hard work gives that strength, that knowledge, experience, a better character, attitude in a person, so that he can excel in whatever field he might want to.
Given the choice, what will you choose, hard work or smart work?
Sir, I would choose smart work.
Okay, thank you very much, Naman. Your interview is over. You may go now.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, sir.
Please sit, Naman. So, how was your experience, Naman?
Sir, it was good.
When is your interview?
So it's on 12th of May.
12th.
Yes.
Which attempt is this?
Sir, second attempt.
This is your second attempt. First at the interview?
Yes.
Naman, you are an excellent candidate for the civil services.
Thank you, sir.
Number one, age is on your side. Very youthful look.
Thank you, sir.
Man of integrity. A very confident looking candidate with a lot of conviction. very vibrant person.
Thank you, sir.
So you could engage in a variety of subjects, and by and large, in one word, your performance was excellent.
Thank you, sir.
So with these words, we don't have too many advice to give to you, because you have done pretty well. What questions will be asked in the real interview, you don't know.
Yes.
But then the way you have responded to the questions, it speaks volumes about your personal qualities of head and heart. With these qualities, if you are able to carry that day with verb and zeal and jest, then you will be able to fetch very good marks in the interview.
Thank you, sir.
It all depends how you have done in geography paper. If you have done it well, which you only would be knowing compared to last time, how was the performance this year?
This time it was very well. Last time my optional score was very low. So this time I think I have done good.
You have done good.
Yes.
So if you have really done good, so you will definitely be doing pretty well in the interview also. Be humble, be polite.
Yes.
Don't try to, number one, mislead the board. Number two, make a guesswork.
Okay, sir.
Number three, to get into any argument with the board members.
Yes, yes.
Even if it is a very personal or emotional issue
Yes, sir.
for you.
Yes.
Don't get carried away. Maintain a strict neutrality. Coming to the guesswork, initially you held on your own, saying whether it is a Kyber pass, but ultimately you gave in.
Yes.
And then you attempted a guess,
Yes, yes.
which was palpably wrong.
Yes, sir.
So in such areas, even under provocation, you should not be tempted to
Okay, sir.
make a guess.
Yes.
Because if you don't know, it's don't know.
Yes.
But in your anxiety to respond to something,
Yes.
you feel that I must attempt this at least, isn't it?
Yes.
That should not happen.
Okay, sir.
You have to hold back your emotions.
Yes.
So that is very important, because your personality is judged. You are not judging the personality of this side.
Yes.
So under difficult situations, under adverse conditions, how a candidate reacts, that is seen. And one is truthfulness.
Yes.
Truthfully admit you don't know.
Yes.
It doesn't matter. But don't be impetuous to answer to a question which you don't know.
Yes.
Otherwise, excellent qualities. Your youthful look and very positive body language, and all good about you.
Thank you.
Okay.
Yes.
Any specific question you have, feel free to ask.
No, sir. With respect to eye contact, hand movement, is it good?
All right. All very natural. Because the moment you start controlling your eyes, unless and until you start moving your hands like this, it's all right.
Okay.
It's all right. So I think wish you all the best.
Okay,
You will succeed this year.
Thank
Okay.
you. Thank you, sir.
All the best.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.